Hi guys, happy Turn Up Tuesday, everyone. It is your girl coming to you guys with a motivational message of the day. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about standing for something. Have you ever heard the saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything? Well, I have. And there's so much truth behind that. Like, you have to stand firmly behind the things that you believe in. And it makes me think about my father, because he was a firm believer and he installed so many great values in my head, and I contribute my strength to that. Like, if he hadn't installed so many things inside of me to stand firm and believing in, then I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. I wouldn't be able to hi honey, I wouldn't be able to make my mind up and decide what is right and what is wrong. I wouldn't be able to make a lot of decisions that I have made, even as far as me having to move on and move past certain people in my life. And I would have just fell for anything. Like, I've been in a lot of not so good relationships in my life, and I gave them hell. I dealt with a lot of stuff, but I gave them a rumble for their money. Listen, like, I'm just not the type of person that will allow people to treat me any kind of way. And I'm so grateful for that. A dear friend of mine called me today, and she gave me so much encouragement. She told me she was watching my videos, and she felt blessed by my courage and some of the things that I was saying in my videos. And she felt like God is using me, which I do feel like God is using me, because if not me, then who? So I'm grateful that I am allowing God to use me in this manner. And you have to be able to stand for something, and I'm not telling anyone to go out there and, be ready to fight every time somebody says something to you or what have you. A lot of things that I stand firm on, I don't even explain myself to nobody. I don't say, well, I ain't dealing with that. Even as far as my divorce was concerned, I picked up the phone, made a call, got some papers, whatever documents had to be notarized and signed, and I said, you're gonna have to meet me somewhere so you can sign these papers, and that was that. I didn't say, well, what you think about this divorce? And no, it is what it is, and things have not been working out so well, and I'm choosing not to deal with this. I could have made the choice to stay, or continue to deal with it. I didn't want my marriage to end. I'm a firm believer in God and the Word of God. And I believe that I stayed so long because I believed that God, believes in marriage, and He loves marriage, and that union is supposed to be a union from God, but not mine. Like, mine wasn't. Y'all forgive me, but it just wasn't. I don't know what that was. That was a mess. That was a big old mess. That's what that was. So, maybe if there ever will be a next go round, that will be a union from God. But that, what I had going on, I don't know what to call it. God bless us each individually, but not together. So, sometimes, it even is hard. I'm laughing now, but it was hell. I'm telling you, it was hell. Sometimes you have to be able to stand up for yourself. You have to be able to stand up for yourself. and let that light shine, because you never know who might be blessed by looking at you. I mean, people are watching you, your children are watching, your family is watching. You never know who you might inspire. And even that works both ways, because when you don't stand up for yourself, and when you are not the type of person that knows how to stand up for yourself, that rubs off on the people that you love as well. So you have to be mindful of the message that you are passing on, especially to people that you love, because if the situation if they get into a situation that ultimately might put them in harm's way, and by that I mean, their feelings being hurt or whatever, then you might want to think about what kind of image that you portray to them. Like, am I showing my kids that it's okay to be walked all over? Like, we might get mad because they choose the wrong relationships or whatever, but what kind of relationships did you choose? And that was one main factor with me standing up for myself as a woman, because I have 2 daughters. I don't want my daughters to grow up and be in a relationship and not know how to stand up for themselves. And, I know that they have to go through whatever they have to go through, and they have to experience life on their own, but I want their experience to be a beautiful one. So if there's anything that I can do to contribute to my children having a more blessed experience in this thing called life, if I have to better myself to better my children's experience with life, then it's worth every sacrifice. It's worth everything that I have to walk away from. And really that's just how it is. Like, we might not even take that as serious as it actually is, but that's huge. They're watching you even when you don't realize that they are watching you. So we have to be mindful the things that we that are installed in us, even as children. Some of the things that we learn in school, as an African American person of this world, and everything that I know that we still go through today as far as racism is concerned, and how hard my predecessors fought even for us to get to where we are today. Who would I be to not stand for everything that a lot of my people have laid down their life and died for, so that makes it all in vain. If I just go out here and be ignorant, like people of my color did not lay down their life even for me and my children to have the privileges that we have today. Now, that's just one example. Hi honey, how are you? That's good. Yeah, so we have to be able to learn how to stand for something. So whatever that means to you in your life, and I always ask you guys to do a self-reflection. Just look at yourself and observe your life. It might be some situations that you may have allowed to go too far, that is putting you in a situation that you don't want to be in. As human beings, we can be more hurtful to one another than animals, and it just boggles me, because I never understand why. But this life that we have is the only life that we are ever going to get. Like, I think we sometimes take this life for granted. We take the time for granted. We take ourselves for granted. We need to make the best out of our life while we are living in every single way. And that is more than just dressing yourself up on the outside and putting on a fresh pair of sneakers, or putting on brand new clothes, or driving the finest car and all of that, which, listen, I ain't opposed to. Because the lifestyle that I'm asking God for, a lot of people going to be mad at me because the baby. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But it is an inside job. You have to be able to work on yourself from the inside. And that is experiencing life to its fullest, when you can be proud of yourself and what you stood up for. You know, sometimes I had mentioned to one of my children, one of my adult children, and we were talking about a lot of things that I had to go through. And I said, just imagine if I was still where I was in the situation that I was in, as far as my marriage, as far as my alcohol and drug addiction, as far as me living in poverty-stricken neighborhoods. I'm living better now than I have ever lived in my entire life, and that just came from me standing on morals, the morals that my father installed in me, my faith that was installed in me. I don't contribute any of it to myself. It's all by God's glory, but I'm so glad that, someone took the time out to sit me down. Some of the things even that I say to you sometimes when I am recording these videos, my father said those things to me over and over and over and over, and I didn't understand it then, but now I do. I'm like, okay, you told me the same thing the last time we was with you. He would come pick me and my sister up, on weekends or wherever. My mother and my father would alternate. We would spend time with each of them. But when he got us, every second was like, he took advantage of every second. Every second was a teaching moment. Every second was picking my brain. Every second was him telling me what he wanted me to know. And after he told me 1,000,000 times, he would ask me, now, what did I tell you? And if I didn't tell him, you can hear that man had a big mouth. You can hear him screaming all the way from around the corner, okay? So I didn't feel like hearing his mouth, him yelling at me. I had to tell him what he told me. And now at 42 years old, I understand and I realize why he literally installed so many values inside of me. He took his time and he was so purposeful about that. Like, he did that on purpose. Like, I'm not gonna always be here, and I love you enough to sit you down and install these values inside of you. And if I didn't have that, Lord knows where I would be. I'm standing on morals. I'm standing on the things that I was taught. I'm standing on courage. I'm standing on faith. I'm standing on strength. Every decision that I made, my life will be way worse off than what it is right now if I did not have those values installed inside of me. Y'all done got me all emotional up on here that day. I ain't even mean to talk about my father that much and all of that. He's been gone maybe 20 something years now, but I am reminded daily why he installed so many values inside of me. Like, I'm reminded daily. It comes right to me and I apply it. I put it where it is needed. And I know 100% for a fact that if I had not been installed them values inside of me, child, honey, this mess is a mess, but it would be more of a mess. Okay? It would be way more of a mess. So it is important to stand for the things that you believe in. If you didn't have those things installed inside of you, most things about life we don't have to be told what is right and what is wrong. Some things are just instinct. Like, that's just not right. It is not right. We know to do something to someone else that we would not appreciate them doing to us. We know that it is wrong, and we do it so often. Like, it comes so naturally and so easy. But if someone did it to you, you would be pissed. You'd be ready to rip somebody's head off. You'd be ready to go to war and all kinds of stuff. So, sometimes you just have to use your common sense. That's one thing that is probably lacked in today's society, is morals and common sense. Like, come on. Like, some stuff should not even have to be said. Like, some stuff really should just go without saying. So I feel stupid just even saying some stuff, even some things that I was going through recently with, I wasn't going through it, but it just took me off guard, the situation that it was happening in my family. And I'm like, why does certain things need to be said? Like, no one should never have to even say that. That's wrong without even saying that is wrong. Like, and a lot of people just don't get that. People just try to make so many exceptions to the rule. Well, it's family, and it's this, and it's that, and mind your business, and family's supposed to be family, and what? Like, either way that you try to put it, it's still going to be wrong. And one thing that my father always taught me, he repeated these words to me so many times I couldn't even count if I wanted to. There is no right way to do the wrong thing. And it just makes so much sense. That just makes sense on so many levels. He said that to me time after time after time after time. There is absolutely no right way to do the wrong thing. Either you're going to choose, you're going to pick and choose. Either you're going to do it the right way or you're going to do it the wrong way. So the decision is up to you. You can't do both. You can't tweak it. You can't finagle it. Or I don't know. I don't understand. But that moral was installed inside of me, and I would never forget. Even when I do things that I know is wrong, I'm like, I'm about to lie. Like, I know it's wrong. God forgive me. Why they asking me my business anyway? And then I try to make excuses why I'm about to lie. But at the end of the day, I know that lying is wrong. And I tell myself that. So then I gotta pray and repent and ask God to forgive me and not make me suffer horribly, because I know that lying was wrong before I lied, and I was about to lie and I lied anyway. Like, it just is what it is. Lying is wrong. Lying is wrong. But people just try to put a twist on so many things in so many different ways. And I just see things for what they actually are. And I guess a lot of people choose not to, which is completely on them. But that don't change the fact. Like, things, it is what it is. I seen somebody, this little girl had the t-shirt on in the market the other day. I was like, oh, I want that t-shirt. Her t-shirt said, it is what it is. That's period, point blank. So we have to learn how to stand for something, y'all. Like, we just absolutely have to learn how to stand for something in our lives, because if not, you will end up somewhere you don't want to be, doing something that you don't want to do. So that is my motivational message for the day. Listen, I love y'all. God bless you all. Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow with another motivational message of the day. In the meantime, y'all stay blessed up.